Dr. Gage White, are you there still?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just trying to open my camera and it doesn't want to open. There it goes. Helps if you move it the right way. Well, can you see me?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, maybe I just closed it.
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
There you go.
There we
There you
go.
go. Okay. Okay. So we just need to get the YouTube thing up.
And Dr. Amusa, or anyway, I just got a call and apparently she got what she needed and hung up. So hopefully she'll be signed on here in a minute.
Who are you talking about?
Montgomery.
I'm on, Linda.
Oh, she's on.
Oh, okay.
We're all here, actually. Yeah.
We were
Okay.
waiting on you. They were looking
Yeah.
for a number, so I called you.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
Well,
now we're just waiting to be
Yeah, I
told that we're
didn't
on.
want to sign on to Zoom too early.
All right.
Yeah, we're just waiting to be told that the YouTube thing is up and then we can start.
Okay, y'all are good to go.
Great.
Was that?
Y'all are good to go.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, then we'll call the meeting to order. And as a reminder that comments by the public are welcome and can be emailed to publiccomment@lsbme.la.gov. So Jacinta, can you confirm that you verified the identity of all the participants on this call?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I will call the meeting to order and we can do a roll call. I'll call your name and just indicate that you're here. Dr. Musa,
Here.
Dr. Dawson,
Here.
Dr. Montgomery,
Here.
Dr. Ferris,
Here.
and last but not least, Dr. Gage White.
Here.
Okay, and I'm Kim LeBlanc, present, of course. Okay, so if there's any additions to the executive or public agenda, they must be made now. As we will no longer make additions to the agenda after the close of the public session. So hearing nothing. And Jacinta, could you confirm that we haven't had any public comments?
That's correct, Dr. LeBlanc. No
Okay.
public comments at this time.
All right, thank you. So we have actually no business other than what should be discussed in the executive session. So well, excuse me, I'm sorry. Did Dr. As we're in the pub, did Dr. Williams or your attorney, could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. My name is John Casla, and I also have on the Zoom call with me Blake Williams, and we are counsel for Dr. Calvin Williams, who's also present on the Zoom call. At this time, we don't have any public comments to make, but during the executive session, Dr. Williams would like to make a brief statement to the board when his matter comes up on the agenda at that time.
Okay. All right. So let's see, just to make sure I do this correctly. So when we go into executive session, we have 3 items. And so Dr. Williams and his attorney will be outside of that until we're ready to discuss them.
Yes, sir.
That's correct. Okay. All right. Okay. With that in mind, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to go into executive session. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any
Okay.
opposed? Okay. Jacinta, could you take us to executive session?
Yes, sir. Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
Kim,
Yes.
since Dr. Williams and his attorneys are here, could we go, I realize he wasn't the first agenda item, but can we go out of order and and
Sure.
have them on, I mean, you
Sure.
know,
Yeah, might as well. Yes, absolutely. Good suggestion. Yes.
Okay, are we in executive session at this point?
Waiting for,
No, you're not.
Okay, okay,
You're actually gonna remain in, public session until we move you over.
okay. So I'll just wait for your cue to when we're in executive session and then we
Yes,
can
sir.
go. Thank you.
Do we need to actually join the room?
You can
Yeah.
join, it'll get you there quicker.
Okay. I just,
Sounds like they went in executive session now and just us waiting for them to let us in.
That's what it seems like.
Okay.
And Blake, what I told Calvin was I was gonna just kind of do an introduction and let Calvin address the board. And then
Mhm.
if for some reason they had any questions that we felt we need to jump in and answer, we could jump in and answer. Or if we
Mhm.
felt we just needed to jump in, period. You
Mhm.
know, I told Calvin what would, one of us would do is just say, Dr. Williams, if you don't mind, we'd like to, address this particular question and we can jump in and answer it. But I do think that the thrust of what they want to hear is from him as opposed to us.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. And they already have Calvin's information. They have an overview of everything already. So just a matter of really Calvin giving his human side of it, his part of it for them to have a look. I was in CLE last night or yesterday with the appellate with all the federal judges and stuff, and they were just saying the different things that they look at for oral arguments sometimes are very persuasive if they're on the fence about something. So that's why I thought it was
Agree.
good that
I-
Calvin.
That's a great point, and that's exactly what Calvin and I discussed yesterday. I think they want to see, okay,
Okay.
they ask us to join.
Okay.
Okay. All right, all right, Doc, we'll see you in there.
I got to join.
Blake, Calvin, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I don't see
Okay.
Calvin.
Yeah,
I don't know if he jumped out
there he
yet.
is.
There you
Okay.
Okay. That's, I
You
think we
did
just wait
good,
here
Paul.
until they finish, and then they'll bring us back in at some point.
Yeah, you did good,
Did a
boy.
good job, Calvin. Yeah, I mean that's really, I think, Marie, that's really, you said exactly, that's what he wanted to hear from you.
Yeah, yeah, that's just fine. We good with that, just like that. Everything else take
Yeah.
care of itself. I mean, it's time for you to, like you said, move on and get you some employment where you
Yeah.
can take care of your family, take care of your boys,
Yeah. Yeah.
Good answer, good response. I mean, you was up front,
Yeah.
Can't do better than that. All you do is tell them where you at,
Nothing more you can do.
right, right.
Yeah.
You lay it all on the table for them. So
Yeah.
to me, I'm biased. To me, it's a, you know, take it off, take a restriction off. You're
I
uncommitted,
hear you. I hear
you
you.
know.
Well, that's what I said. That's what we said going in. They really wanted to hear from him,
Right,
not from
right,
us. They want to hear that
right,
you're sincere. And I think, you heard it asked what 3 or 4 times, you're going to
right,
commit to
right,
not
right,
getting
right,
any
right,
surgery. That's really what I want to hear.
right. And that's what I got from the justices yesterday when I was doing my sit-up. They, I had a good chance and my opportunity is going to be easy, not easy, but it's just on me now from here on out. I just need to take care of a few things so I can have full readmittance, and that should take place beginning of the year.
Yeah. Good deal. Good
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
Yeah. It's funny.
So,
I was at a CLE recently, Blake, as well. And it was a bunch of state appellate court judges, and they were talking about what they do and do not like to see in these briefs. And I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, There's all that. Sometimes introduction can be overwhelming and just too much.
Yeah.
Like they say, too much manure. They say,
They
like,
said they
just
don't
get to
like
the
the
point.
flowery language. They
Nope,
want you to
nope.
be
They want to be
short and
plain.
sweet. Yeah,
Yeah,
plain.
yep.
Exactly.
All that he
Exactly.
said, they don't need to dress it up for them. You ain't trying to impress them. Yeah.
Right. No, you hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, I was a bit surprised because a lot of times you get these briefs and you feel like you have to do it back.
Right. Just address the issue that you're dealing with.
Right. Right.
So what I'm understanding is that we're supposed to be the vote's supposed to be public in the public setting is what I understand.
That's what Cheryl told us, but I'm not really.
It sounds like that's what it is, because that's why they have it on YouTube.
I think
Right.
they go in
Well, I think the
executive.
executive session is, I don't know that the executive session's on YouTube,
Oh, that's not, but
No,
the
Yeah.
other
it
one
shouldn't
is.
be.
but I think he's
So,
right. I think they're supposed to come back into general session or public session and then issue their votes.
right. From my
Yeah,
understanding, what I was reading, the code says that they have to make a public announcement
Right.
on the status
Right.
for the public to know.
Right.
and that's why I comment about that I'll be available for when they vote to answer anybody's questions.
Right.
It's indirectly saying I'm going to be here for this vote.
Right. Well, they know
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah. I think they
Yeah,
know
that's-
that.
yeah.
And I told the interestingly, the board attorney wasn't on the Zoom call, but
I saw that.
Patty Dufresne, who saw on the call, she's kind of like the coordinator. She's not an attorney, but I told both of them that you wanted to be present for the vote.
Mhm.
So they knew that.
Yeah, I don't know, how I would address really someone who's voting no, but I would want to know why you're voting no and give an opportunity to answer any of your,
Yeah, my gut feeling was that last question that you got asked.
Right.
Mhm.
That would be to me where someone would kind of maybe say, I don't know if I can believe him
Mhm.
and vote no.
Right.
That to me is what it boils down to.
But if you have majority of the vote, I wouldn't even address anybody that said no.
No, yeah, I agree. 1000%. Get in and get out.
So
Right.
it's like wait till the total votes are done, not wait individually to answer the question. Yeah.
Right.
Wait till
Yeah.
they finish their votes.
Right.
Correct.
If you got majority of the vote and they give
It doesn't matter.
Right. Don't matter. I mean, if one person, okay, cool.
Yeah,
You know.
agree.
And a lot of times what the justices, what Justice Griffin was saying is that what they do is they try on certain things. If they have a 4-3 split, they still let it stand at 7, so then nobody really know anything different, to
Right.
try to, unless it's something that has to be publicized where they know it's a 4-3 split type thing. So sometimes you may not even know if long as they in-house say we're gonna do it and the majority of them say it, everybody go with the flow. As opposed to, being the odd man out publicly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
I didn't keep up with the count. I guess I was so focused on what
I
I
think
had to.
was there
Calvin?
5 of them?
I think it was 5. I
It looked
think
like there were 5, and then
five,
yeah,
and
and then Dr. Maria is kind of like their lead investigator, so I'm sure that he's going to have
say.
a say. Yeah.
But I think he seems to, because he had a chance to really see Calvin up front. He just needed to hear what Calvin said just now.
That and the fact that, like I said, that he was willing to look at it not once but twice our
Yeah.
request, and we put in there what he wanted to see in there. So
Right. So, and I think Calvin's right. I mean, the question about what's the difference between 10 years and now to 10 years for a surgeon, that's a lifetime. I
we
kind of
put
said,
we put in that request. We I thought we addressed it because we said, look, he's had a lot of time to reflect on, the past and, make his path forward and what he's done to move that path forward. So we addressed that in that request.
yeah,
Yeah.
10 years is a long time for a surgeon not to have surgery. So yeah, it'd take. So I mean, he's right.
I
I mean,
agree.
I can offer a lot to the universities, to teaching. I mean, so many opportunities, but if you got a restriction on there, I mean, I just like with me with the bar. I mean, I can do a lot of stuff legally, but it's restriction that I can't do
Right.
because of this barbing. I mean, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I like to have the opportunity to answer the guy who asked about, me feeling comfortable. I don't remember guy or lady
And she
asked,
was the
do I
lady.
feel comfortable in
One of the
emergency?
ladies. Yeah.
In fact, emergency room, we feel general surgeons feel more comfortable than the ER guys themselves. They just
Right.
deal with more of the medical stuff in the ER. But when it comes to procedure, they know that we're king of the ER because
Right.
those procedures are minor procedures for us and
I
major
didn't
for
know
them.
she
Like
was asking if Calvin felt, how would he feel if he was by himself, isolated as the only
I
one?
think that's where she was going with it, but I
Right.
think you addressed it and said, look, these guys when I'm interviewing, they all know what the situation is. So
oh yeah,
it's not going to be a situation like that. I mean,
and
it,
it's
it's not like you're going to, I don't see a situation where you're in an emergency department, a guy comes in with a shotgun wound and you're going to be, oh my God, I'm going to cut this guy open and start operating.
Right.
It's not going to happen. I mean,
right. It's not set up like that. The
no,
general surgeon on call for that gunshot wound would
right,
be happy to know that another general surgeon was operating. I mean, he was in the ER, seeing that patient and giving him the spiel on, the gunshot wound and what
right,
to do.
right. You're just stabilizing the patient at that point until the
Right.
surgeon will
Right.
come in. Yeah.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
that was, to me, that's
Yeah.
kind of self-explanatory, but I mean, I
Yeah.
think you addressed it fine.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
But that's,
you know,
my point about like the way the boards are set up. They have your specialties. And when there's a physician that's on the block for that, like a surgeon like myself, and there's no other general surgeon, they don't have the in-depth perception of the situation all the time. And sometimes it hurts us because they don't really understand. Whereas another general surgeon who's been in the situation would know better than that. And their perception of the situation would be different.
mhm.
You know what I mean? Like a primary care don't have that certain insight to in a surgical specialty. So it's a limitation that they have actually. So when they have to pass judgment on something, it's unfair to the specialist.
Mm.
And that's any specialty, it's like if an ophthalmologist is on the block for a certain thing and there's no ophthalmologist on that board, then, that's a disadvantage, for the ophthalmologist actually, because, they have to see things their way as well.
So there's a
Right.
whole different lingo there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm glad that you had a chance to address them and give them your heart. I mean, that's all you can do.
Yeah. Yeah. I got in the batter's box and swung as best I can. And
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's all you can do.
Yeah,
couldn't I just wanted to be satisfied that I gave my best swing.
I think
You
you
did.
did. I think you did. I think you did.
Yeah.
I don't know how many other items they had on the agenda because it sounded like you weren't initially the first item. They just moved it up because we were the only ones present to actually address the board. So
You're right.
I don't know how many items they have on the agenda.
I wonder if they are gonna do all of their discussions in executive session, or are they just gonna do
I think they
mine?
are. I think the ones that are required to be an executive, they're going to do it in an executive, and then because they said there were no public comments made
I
or
see.
submitted,
Mhm.
so there wasn't anything to consider on the public side. Well, and probably the reason why is it's still on the board website that this meeting is supposed to be next Thursday.
Yeah, yeah, that's the other thing is I'm wondering,
Yeah, I mean, it
some
still
of
says
the,
that I've checked it yesterday, and it still said December the 12th.
yeah, there may have been some of the members didn't get it, some of their members why they just had five, because I think
I
there
don't,
there are a lot more members of that pro tem board that probably.
I don't know. Yeah, I know the last time it got canceled was because one of the board members at the last minute or the few days
Yeah,
before
they
had
had
to get
less
out.
than five. If they had less than five, maybe I guess they have to have a, quorum.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
probably have to have a minimum to go forward the meeting,
Mhm.
but we'll see.
But you seem to have a good grasp, John, on the whole case, my situation, of course, been knowing you for a while, so um,
And I think, like I said, I think us being able to get in front of Dr. Marier,
mhm,
because I think he initially had a fundamental misunderstanding of where we were coming from
mhm,
and being able to boil it down for him and then getting the chance to kind of put a draft in front of him,
mhm.
really drill down to him where we wanted to
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah. From the meeting, the first meeting, I think
Yeah.
that was his biggest concern. Um,
Yeah.
and
100%.
I think if Calvin would have made a strong commitment then, he probably had a different attitude about it before we even presented the second phase to him, you know.
Yeah. So I got the impression, or at least my hope is that he's in our corner. And I think if he's in our corner,
I've been
that's
asked to let y'all know that y'all are live in YouTube.
we're live in YouTube.
Yes.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, once you leave the executive session, the stream is live.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Tracy.
Uh-huh.
Will after when they're gonna make the vote, if you know, during the executive session and then announce it in the public session, or did they actually issue their votes during the public session?
I'm not quite sure about that.
Okay.
Well, from what I understand is that they're supposed to vote in the public session, but they're supposed to make the votes in the public session.
I understand. Yeah. All right. So
That's
FYI,
my
Blake,
understanding.
we're on YouTube, Blake. So I think we'll just talk about.
She said we're public now on YouTube.
Yes, I just found out. So
Okay.
It feels more private than that, but it's not.
sure.
Okay.
So y'all saw that news yesterday about that CEO for United Health getting shot
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I was just up there talking about that CLE, Blake. I was just up there a week and a half ago for the LSBA CLE,
Mhm.
and I literally walked right by there,
Oh, really?
Wow.
a
In
week
New
and a half
York, right?
ago. It's
Right.
it's a huge. The Hilton's huge. It's got like multiple. It basically takes up almost a whole block. So I don't sleep well, so I was up late last night, and what they were saying was this guy was entering not even from the main entrance, some side entrance.
Hmm.
So the fact that this guy knew, he had to have known because he was waiting
Yeah.
at this Starbucks across the street from the side entrance,
Yeah.
and then walked across the street and waited behind an SUV, and then popped out and shot the guy right as he was about to walk into The side entrance, it sounds like somebody knew somebody feeding this guy information.
I mean, it seems like a movie script.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
yeah, it was a hit.
I
Yeah, it
have
was
an
a
insurance
huge hit.
agency and I write for that company, what for them.
Really,
Yeah, yeah. So
they're
I was wondering.
big. I didn't realize how big of a company they are. They're huge.
Yeah,
They're the biggest.
yeah, they
They're the
are.
biggest.
Yeah, they're major. I mean, matter of fact, I have my mom with their Medicare.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
You know, I think
in
they're
New
still
Orleans.
paying back some of the money that they denied. You know, they were big on denying, you know, things that should be done when people have Medicare. They gave up their Medicare to them, and they would, you know, claim that it's not medically necessary to get it done.
I was wondering if that would what happened here. You know, if there's some
Yeah, I'm
family that
wondering
felt
too.
wronged.
Yeah, that's a strong possibility. It's not, you know, something that's unheard of, but because sometimes you can deny and people feel like their person would have lived if they would have had that approved, that kind of thing, you know. So
Yeah, it's interesting. But they said the guy had a bike, an electric bike, down the not the hallway, the alleyway on the next block. It wasn't a city bike because the city bikes that you can rent are on
yeah,
GPS trackers. This was not, in that he had the bike sitting waiting for him a block over and then rode the bike into the park. And he think the backpack that he had a change of clothes in it. He just basically changed clothes somewhere in a hidden spot and just literally walked out the park. I don't know.
it's a movie script.
It
Wow.
is. It's crazy.
Gee,
It's crazy. Right in the middle. I mean, 6:45 in the morning.
that's
Uh,
amazing.
mm, never know. How your boys doing? Doing good?
Yeah, yeah, they're doing good. The one in dental school is gonna cost us the most. Dental school is ridiculous, way more than medical school as far
Is that
as
all right? Where
yeah,
is he in dental school?
at Meharry in
Yeah,
Nashville.
yeah, Mahara, yeah.
This is first year, and man, it's scary now. Like just whether we're gonna be able to even borrow enough money because it's like 100,000 a year.
Wow. I had no idea.
So
It's
they'll
3 years?
poor. So
4.
they're paying back a lot over the time that they're practicing. So it's
I
gonna
didn't
be
realize
really
it was
hard.
4 years. Yeah.
It's tough. That's why a lot of the youngsters, you know, decline going into medicine, you
Then
know,
we're going
because
back in, Dr. Calvin.
okay.
Okay. See if everybody's back in. Okay. All right, I think everybody's here. So now we're back into public session. And we have a request here to extend a preliminary review on case 2024 I-285. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor of extending that review, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, and now the matter involving case 23-347. We had a discussion on that and we had decided we're going to take some further action, which requires a little activity. So I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
So So moved. moved. Second.
Okay, moved in second. Any opposed? Excuse me. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? Any abstentions? Okay, well, that concludes our business. Mr. Jacinta, has there been any public comments?
No, sir, we have no public comments.
Okay, thank you. Well, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved.
All in-
Is
Okay, it's been moved in second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
that's it for
Aye.
me?
Okay, any
If I may
opposed?
ask, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Dr. Calvin Williams's matter's been, is that the matter that there was mentioned about some more activity is
Yes.
needed? Okay.
Yes,
Okay. So there'll be
Yes.
a submission from the board at a later date.
you'll be contacted. Yes.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
See y'all
Thank
later.
you.
Bye.
All right. Bye.